Hey guys, it's me Roy again, driving truck, on my way to San Diego. It's going to take me a couple days to get down there, make a 2-hour delivery, and spend a couple days coming back. We do this once a month, so anyway, I'm driving along. One thing about driving is you get a lot of time to stare at the windshield. I listen to YouTube videos a lot. I've got my Bluetooth headset here. It's in stereo. I really enjoy listening to a lot of things I can learn about. I listen to some teachings. Like today, I was listening to some Stephen Brooks on his Pentecost Fire, I think it was called. I enjoyed that. That was very nice. But I wanted to share a dream that I had a while back. This dream happened, but I think it still applies. It was a prophetic dream. It was a spiritual dream. It was very symbolic. There was a lot of symbolism in the dream, and it was in Technicolor. It was really, really vivid. It was a vivid dream, and I didn't understand any of it at first, but I think I understand some of it now. So in this dream, I'll just go ahead and get to it. In this dream, I was walking on a high road on the side of a hillside, that went around, or maybe I think it might have even been straight. I was walking along a high road in the fall. It was there was yellow and orange leaves all over the ground. It was beautiful. I remember in the dream thinking it was beautiful, and the sun was shining through and flickering through the trees on the ground, and the leaves were covering the ground, and I was walking on an old wagon trail. And I remember in the dream, in spiritual dreams, you just know things. There's things you know. It's like nobody has to tell you or say it. But I knew that nobody had traveled on this path that I was on, and I was with a friend, but I didn't see them. It was a close friend. And me and this friend were walking along and talking and fellowshipping, I suppose, on this path that nobody had been on in probably 100 years. It was like there was wagon wheel tracks from wagons from olden days, but those tracks were covered with leaves, and it was obvious that nobody has been on this path in many, many years, but it was beautiful. Okay, so I think I got that point across. That's how it was. And I looked down to my left, and I seen a valley, like down below. In the valley were some homes. There were some homes down there, and one of them was where I lived, was my house, with my family, my siblings and my mother, and it was, I flew. I not like Superman, but I took like 3 steps in this dream, maybe just a couple of steps, just like 1, 2, and I probably went a mile through the air to this house effortlessly. It was just like I looked down, looked at the house, and I was there. I flew there and swooped up under the eaves of the house, up into the roof like that, and it was up in the rafters area, kind of like an attic with a roof. And up in this attic space, or eaves of the house, there was and I just kind of swooped under there effortlessly. And there was a big sheet of plywood standing up. And on this sheet of plywood were several what looks like throwing stars. like the Chinese throwing stars. They're metal, and they've got several points on them. And I don't recall how many stars there were. It seemed like there was 6 or 7 of them, and each star was nailed or attached to this board, and under the tip of each point of the star was a coin, a nice coin. I think of gold coins and things. So I was in the roof, and I found this board with these stars and these coins, and I was trying to pry one of the coins out from under the star in my dream. That's when I realized I didn't get the coin off, but that's when I realized that my brother was down below on the ground, at the house, trying to jump up under the eaves. He kept trying to jump, and he couldn't get up there, and he was frustrated, and he just couldn't even jump high enough to grab it and pull himself up, and that was my older brother. And my younger brother come out of the house and saw my older brother trying to jump up in there, and saw me up in the attic, and then he went inside and told my mother. My mother in life, she's the one that brought me to the Lord. She's the one that I used to sit on her knee as a little boy and say, "Mom, tell me about Jesus," and she's passed now. But so my little brother went in the house to tell my mother, to tell on us, basically, and then I came down, and my older brother and I went in, and my mother told us that those are gifts from my father, and it's not time for us to have them yet. And that was the end of that dream. And I pondered the meaning of it, because everything was symbolic, everything meant something. And if you think you can interpret that dream, I'd be really interested to hear it. And I could share with you what I think it means, but I think I'd like to hear your interpretation and see if they match mine. So by all means, please share in the comments below. Appreciate it, and God bless, and thank you, and stay in the Lord. That's all I can say right now. Okay, well, yes, and drive safe. Absolutely, drive safe. Talk to you later.